The night was cold, and the wind howled through the narrow city streets as I arrived at the hotel. It was an old, towering building, its walls stained by decades of rain and neglect. The entrance was dimly lit, the golden chandeliers inside flickering weakly, as if struggling to stay alive. There was something unsettling about the place. Maybe it was the silence, the way the walls seemed to hold on to whispers of the past, or the musty scent of time long forgotten. I had heard the rumors before I booked the room. People spoke in hushed tones about guests who left in the middle of the night, some who never spoke of their experience, and others who simply vanished without a trace. But I didn't believe in ghosts or curses. To me, it was just another cheap hotel, a place to rest before my long journey ahead. The room they gave me was on the 7th floor, the highest in the building. The elevator groaned under its own weight as it carried me up, the numbers flickering erratically before stopping at my floor. The hallway stretched out before me, long and dark, with only a few dim bulbs casting weak pulls of light onto the faded carpet. The door to my room creaked as I pushed it open. Inside, the air was stale, heavy with the scent of old wood and something faintly metallic. The furniture was antique, the wallpaper peeling at the corners. A large mirror hung on the opposite wall, its surface cloudy, reflecting the dim glow of the bedside lamp. I dropped my bag onto the floor inside, exhaustion creeping into my bones. It was just a room. Nothing special, nothing to fear. But as the night stretched on, the silence became oppressive. The wind outside had died down, yet I could hear soft creaks, as if footsteps were pressing against the wooden floorboards. I told myself it was just the old building settling, just my mind playing tricks on me. But then, the air in the room grew colder, a sharp contrast to the warmth I had felt earlier. A faint sound, like a whisper carried through the walls, reached my ears. I turned, my eyes scanning the room, finding nothing but shadows stretching unnaturally in the corners. Sleep did not come easily. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt an overwhelming sense of unease, like something unseen was watching me. The darkness in the room seemed heavier, the silence thick. Then, in the dead of night, I heard the unmistakable sound of the door handle turning. My breath caught in my throat. I lay frozen, listening as the sound repeated, slow and deliberate. The lock remained in place, yet the handle moved again, as though something on the other side was testing it.
A chill ran down my spine. My mind raced, trying to find a rational explanation. Perhaps it was just another guest, lost and confused. But deep down, I knew no one else was there. The hotel had felt empty when I arrived, the front desk clerk barely acknowledging my presence. I forced myself to stay still, barely daring to breathe. The handle stopped moving, but the feeling remained, the sense that something was there, standing just outside my door. The minutes dragged on, each second stretching into eternity. Then, just when I thought it was over, the sound changed. It was no longer at the door. It was inside the room. A faint shuffle, a barely audible movement near the mirror. My heart pounded as I turned my head ever so slightly, my eyes locking onto the glass. My reflection was there, exactly where it should be. But something was wrong. It took me a moment to realize it. The reflection wasn't moving the way I was. It stood still, watching me, its eyes dark and hollow. A surge of terror gripped me. I wanted to run, to escape, but my body refused to move. Then, slowly, the reflection's lips parted. Though no sound came, I felt a chilling whisper crawl through the air, pressing against my ears, seeping into my mind. My body finally obeyed, and I lunged for the door, fumbling with the lock. My hands were shaking, the air around me thick and suffocating. The moment the door swung open, I bolted down the hallway, my footsteps echoing against the walls. The elevator doors were open, waiting as if expecting me. I stepped inside, jabbing at the button for the lobby, my breath coming in ragged gasps. As the door slid shut, I caught one last glimpse of my room. The door was still open, the light inside flickered, and standing in the doorway watching me was my reflection smiling.